In this video, I will cover what anxious insecure attachment is. Anxious insecure attachment is also known as ambivalent attachment. I will illustrate how it arises and how it is revealed in the various stages of our development. By the end of the video, you'll be able to know if this is your childhood attachment strategy. So as babies, we develop attachment strategies which help us to attach to the caregivers so that our safety and development are as much as possible safeguarded. When we're safe, when we really feel seen and our needs are reliably met, we are soothed in our distress. We develop secure attachment. However, when the caregiver is not consistently present and attuned and does not reliably meet our needs, one of the strategies we may adopt is the anxious insecure attachment. In that case, our whole attachment system gets, in a sense, revved up. We are seeking proximity to our caregiver and we're more difficult to soothe. We can contrast this to avoidant attachment. There, the child faces discomfort of inconsistency in having their needs met and, in a sense, powers down the attachment system. It decides to be self-sufficient. It gives up on the connection. In contrast, the anxiously attached child will seek proximity and comfort, sometimes incessantly. They will be desperate to get the connection with a caregiver. So the attachment system in the case of anxiously attached children goes into overdrive. So this is how the 18-month anxiously attached child behaves in the strange situation. And recall, the strange situation is an experimental setup where the baby is with the mother in a room playing with toys. And a stranger arrives, the mother leaves for a few minutes. The baby is then reunited with the mother. There's a second time that the mother leaves, but this time the stranger leaves together with the mother. So the child is left completely alone for a few minutes. And then there's a second reunion. If the child is anxiously attached, the child at each reunion will be difficult to soothe. It will want to reconnect with the mother, but it will not find enough comfort in order to relax and then go and play again, as a securely attached child would. And this is where the alternative name to anxious attachment comes from, ambivalent insecure attachment. And ambivalent because the child is ambivalent. It wants to go to play with the toys, but it does not do that, as it also wants to keep being comforted by the mother. Anxious insecure attachment is thought to arise through the inconsistent caregiving, where at one time the caregiver is available and responsive, and at another time he or she is not. And of course, this relates not only to our physical needs being met, but also to our other needs, like our emotional needs and the need to be validated. So the child is left confused. One time the parent is responsive and another time not. Can I rely on you to meet my needs? And it responds with this heightening of the attachment system, which may cause the child to be difficult to soothe. There is another way of parenting that is also related to anxious insecure attachment, and that is intrusive parenting. One example of this would be when the child is crying from hunger and the parent is responding, but at the same time themselves are being flooded by feelings of, for example, fear. So the child would then absorb the parent's fear, and we can do that very effectively through our mirror neurons that act like sponges and internalize the state of the other. So now the child is confused. There's the original hunger, but now there's also this fear without a well-defined reason that the child just copied from the parent. And the system of the child is craving attachment. the thermostat is set high in anxious insecure attachment as opposed to low in avoidant insecure attachment. So when the child is at school, it is likely to seek help and reassurance even when it's not needed. And that's contrasted to the avoidantly attached child, where they may not seek help even when that's necessary to do. So further into adulthood, the need for reassurance remains, and it may manifest as fear of abandonment or jealousy, people-pleasing, which assumes that your own needs do not count and that you only count if others are at ease and taken care of. It is important to heal these childhood wounds in adulthood for our own well-being, and also to ensure that they do not get passed on intergenerationally. If we have not felt seen or heard as children, very often these hot button areas will be triggered in reaction to our own children. Just reflect on how often you have felt disrespected by your own children, and how often was that indeed the case, and how often it was due to your particular sensitivity to not being seen or respected in your childhood. When that happens, we are reacting to our children from our own childhood pain, and in this case, our anxious attachment. And we can become inconsistent in our parenting. When we're reacting from our childhood pain, our reaction is guaranteed to create confusion in our children, when their expectation is that they're seen, safe, and soothed by us. So if you've benefited from this video, please subscribe and let me know if your preference is for more informative videos such as this one, or whether you would like me to do practical exercises such as guided meditations on these topics. Thank you very much for watching.